Hello, word nerds, and anyone else who is curious about lighting, doing a sort of studio setup like this. Couple of things before this video starts. First of all, there will be no color correction throughout this video until the very end. I'm going to leave this as sort of normal and blank as possible because I'm talking about lighting and camera settings and those sorts of things. The other thing is, if you are not aware, this is a video where I am talking about getting some new lights, unboxing them, talking about what their capabilities are, talking about my own personal setup. And so this is a very visual episode, a very visual video. I am putting this on my podcast feed. The podcast is called The Dictionary. But of course, the audio is not going to be very helpful for something like this. Feel free to listen. Feel free to download. That's never a bad thing. But you're going to get the most out of this if you come to YouTube. Come over here to YouTube, over here with me, and watch the video and see the visuals that I'm talking about. I go through a bunch of stuff, like I said, opening up the lights, talking about what they can do, and then just trying to figure out my own setup here in this room and trying to make it look a little bit nicer than what it used to look like. And so I guess that is the end of my intro, and watch the video. Go! Hello, everybody out there in the world of internet streaming YouTube stuff. So if you watch my channel, you have seen a whole lot of videos recorded in this room, slightly different angle, but it doesn't look great. It doesn't look beautiful. It doesn't look like so many of those other YouTubers and podcasters and flammers or something. I'm gonna leave all this foam up because it just looks and sounds so nice, but I feel like I need to upgrade my lighting. This is very uninteresting, not so great lighting. So I bought a couple of lights. I bought 3 lights. I think in total they cost about $300 if I'm remembering correctly. So in the grand scheme of things, not that much money. I'm gonna do a little unboxing video. A little unboxing. Let's look at this new tech that I got. Let's experiment with it. Let's see what we got. All right, let's start with this one. First of all, we have so much fun bubble wrap. I'm so tempted to just pop the crap out of this. Okay. Let's get rid of this. Get rid of this. And we have, this is going to be my key light. Now, I'm not a light expert, but I know more than the average person. We have here the Godox ES45 eSports LED light. Okay, good. You can see that. Let's get their logo in. They are not sponsoring me. I had to buy all this stuff. And I probably should grab my scissors. I got the scissors. Whoop, whoop. Oh, this is so not a convenient way to open up a box. What's in the box? The light body, the detachable panel, the power cable, the mounting rod, which attaches to the desk, an adapter, and an instruction manual, which of course I'm not going to use because why do you need instruction manuals these days? You don't. So my setup here is 2 monitors. I am going to put the light up here on the left side of my left side to act as a key light. It's supposed to be pretty soft. And then, right behind my monitor, it can attach to the desk, and then it'll just go up right above the monitor and be pointed at me, and I think it'll be so perfect, so amazingly perfect. We're gonna have to plug this in and get it all set up, and then I'll show you before and after, and it might not all happen today. It might happen over a couple of days, and you're gonna see me wear different shirts. But hey, let's take a look at the light. It's this big. How big is this? Probably 8 to 9 inches tall, I guess. And then this distance it's about maybe 12 to 14 inches across, the widest. 12 to 14 inches by another 8 or 9 inches. It's got some weight to it, actually. And this panel on the back is detachable, whoop, by some magnets. We're gonna set it up and see what this looks like, and I'm gonna look so much prettier. Finally. We got the mounting rod here. It's already loose. Gotta tighten this up. What I like is that it has the ball head. You can position it however you gotta position it. More bubble wrap. Woo! Yeah, this seems very sturdy and strong and heavy duty. And everybody likes a heavy duty. Yeah, let's see what this looks like. So this is me showing my setup. I got the one monitor there and the other monitor there, and you can see me using OBS to record. And then back here is where it'll clamp onto, and then the light will be up there somewhere. Yay! So this is me behind my computer in the corner. Hello! I had to climb through a tiny little hole to get here. So, this is the light connected to the thing. That's all clamped here, and it's raised up to there. This gap was not big enough for me to slide this in, so I had to push the desk out, but unfortunately, it was butting up against the other desk over here, and so I had to lower it with this thing, but the monitor stand was in the way, so I had to push it was a whole chain of events. But anyway, I got this in, but then I put the pull up and I was like, well, wait, I need to screw on the light. So then I had to take this off. Then I had to grab the light, screw it on in this tiny little hole that I'm in. So I suggest that you screw the light on first if you have a tiny little cramped spot, and then against a wall, and then put it in, and then reposition it with the ball head there. And of course now I have to go get the cables, which are all the way over there on the other side of the desk. So I have to climb through this little hole and come back. So I have it plugged in now, and just so the cable doesn't get pulled on too much with the hanging all the way down to the plug, I went ahead and wrapped it around this thing on the back of the monitor, and then the cable just goes down and it gets plugged in. And hey, let's turn it on. See, this is why this detachable panel is so good, because I'm going to be able to control it from not coming back here. So let's turn it on and watch out for the hot light coming through. Nothing happened. I know. Let's take the panel off and let's be smart about this. Oh, look. There's a power button. Is that a power button? Yes. Ooh, look at the cool light. Fantastic. Does look like it needs to be charged up a little bit, but it's got dim here. I mean, boy, we can use the reflection to see how it dims. Look at that. And then it's got color here. Yes, that is the color temperature. Yes, that is nice and warm. I will probably have it somewhere in the middle. Maybe daylight. I don't know. I'll figure it out. So right now, I turned off the lights in the room. I'm just being lit up by my monitors, which is blah, looks terrible. But let's go ahead and just turn on this one light and see what that does. And of course, the camera is going to auto adjust. I need to upgrade my camera someday. So this is set to 100. Boom. Okay. So let's see how we want to adjust this. I do have these two other lights. Probably going to put one behind me and maybe one over there as like a fill light, like a little side fill light. Let's make it warmer for one. The problem is, of course, I have a camera's doing auto things, and then let's like bring it down maybe to like 50. So we're looking at the thing. I don't know. It's a start. It's a start. I think the quality of the camera is something to think about. But do I need to have the lights on? Let's go turn the lights on. So this is with the lights on. I mean, it definitely sort of like evens things out. Maybe it's not that bad. And let's see, what if I bring this up then to something brighter? Do we need so much brightness? Is it going to be too much? It might be too much. I was hoping to maybe have it a little bit more interesting. Let's go to 75. I like my exact numbers. Exact numbers? What does that mean? I don't know. Well, hey, this is a good start. Let's see what this looks like just without the light. I can just turn it off, I guess. Let's see. 1, 2, 3. Okay, let the camera do its adjustment. And this is what it would look like without the light. And adjust. And this is what it is with that light. I mean, I think we have less weird shadows, but you know, it's not bad. And then when I get another light over there to fill in this side a little bit, then maybe that, I mean, it might be more behind me though. That's a little bit of a problem. Well, hey, it's a start. We're experimenting. We're figuring it out. So let's do a quick little experiment. Let's see what this is like at 0, 25, 50, 75, and 100. We're going to take it all the way down to 0. We're going to do some fun jump cuts, of course, because we all like our jump cuts. Okay, ready? This is 0. Now, this is 25. Now, this is 50. Here comes 75. And finally, 100. All right, let's see what those all look like together, all at the same time. Which one's best? I don't know. It's going to change once I put in the other two lights. So let's open those up. All right, time to open up these other two lights. I've got the main light on at 100. We're just going to leave it like that. Nice bright light. Okay. I bought not one, but 2 RGB LED light tubes because I need to be cool and trendy like everybody else. Let's put this box on the floor. Good sound. Oh, these are also from Godox. I don't know I don't know if I even realized that I bought all Godox stuff. So these are the TL30 RGB tube lights. Anything interesting to say about them? Yes, they aren't just bicolor tungsten to daylight lights. No, these, because in the name RGB, they go the full color spectrum. They even have fun special effects, which I will probably never use, like lightning and broken light and probably flames. And does it have a list? I don't know. There's like 13, I think, pre-programmed special effects, but I'm probably just going to use something boring like a tungsten or a daylight, you know, an orangey or a bluey or a white or maybe white, I don't know. But hey, I might have fun with these. So they have a little panel here with the controls and tells you a little bit, and there's an app. I think there might be an app for this big light too. But then I can control it all on my telephonic mobile cellular device, and I can say, go do this now, without having to go over there and control it. I heard that they last about an hour on full power, because they have an internal battery. My plan, not that you need to know this, but my plan is to use it for an episode, which ends up being about 30 to 40 minutes, and then charge it. The interesting thing will be when I have a guest. Those can sometimes go, this is for my podcast, The Dictionary, of course, which I'm sure everybody knows about. And so when I have a guest, though, those can go, 2 hours or so. So I might have to figure out a way to keep these at like 50% if possible, or the light's just gonna die. And that's fine, but it might look kind of weird. So I guess let's plug these in and see what they're like. Yay! If we're doing an unboxing thing, we should probably unbox and talk about what's for real going on in here. It comes with a few things, metal things that you can stick to your wall or something, because these have magnets on the ends. And I do have, I believe, above the door frame there, you can see, I think that it might stick to the frame there. So that would be a nice place. And so I wouldn't have to use these. I'd rather not have to use these, but you can use them if you need to. Oh no, something fell. It comes in this fancy case. I think it's just a USB cable on the floor. Let's open up the case and see what's inside. Ooh. Oh man, I feel like I'm joining the 21st century with this stuff. It's 1 foot long. They have longer ones. They have packages where you can get 2 or 4 or whatever. I just bought 2 simple single 1 foot lights because I think that's all I need. So the front half, this here, is where the light comes out, and this back half is the panel and all that stuff. And oh, this is just so great. Thanks, Godox, for not giving me these, but for providing me with light. There might be a charge that might be charged up. Let's turn it on and find out. Is it a 1 press? No, it might be a long press. Let's find out. Or maybe it's just dead. Sometimes they're just dead. Nope, had to hold it on even longer. Oh, that's bright. That is 100%, and yes, it has a little bit of a charge. What's the best way to do this? There's a scroll wheel. The scroll wheel goes for the, right now it's scrolling through the color temperature. So if I go all the way down, it's orange. All the way up, that was 2700, all the way up to 6500. My other light is at 4500, which might be close to what these ceiling lights are. It looks, I could maybe go a little bit warmer. But let's go to that. Let's go to 4500 just to make a match. Boom! What else? So there's a dim button. That's where you can, then you hit the scroll wheel and you can dim it all the way down to nothing. And yes, I think it looks like it goes single percentage points. Okay, then there's the mod or mode button. Oh, this is where we get the really fun stuff. So now, once I hit the mode button, if I go on the scroll wheel, this is changing the hue. So hue 0 basically is red, and it is gradually changing colors as I scroll. I mean, you probably can't see it because it probably looks more a lot of white, but you can sort of see, like on my fingers maybe. Yeah, we're in the green range, although you probably can't tell that. Not at all. Yeah, see, now we're starting to get in cyan, the blue. This goes 360 degrees all the way to the full blue, into the purple and the indigo, and then all the way back to red. So let's leave it at this fun, spicy color. And then I think if we hit mod again, oh no, what I wanted to do is get to the saturation. Anyway, you can change the saturation. Not entirely sure how to do that. Oh, you click the scroll wheel, and now if you scroll again, you can change the saturation. So we're taking it all the way down to nothing, which is just in the grayscale, white, gray, black. Or we can bring it all the way up to 100% saturation, the most colorly color. Then if we hit mod again, this is where I think we get into the fun things. I don't know what these are. Oh, this is maybe the broken light. This is, what is that picture? I can't tell. It's going through like all of them, all the colors. This is lightning. This is another light thing. Something about a light bulb. This is a TV. Make it look like you got a TV pointed on you. Candle. This is very nice. It's changing a little bit. Yeah. You could probably change the intensity of all these too. Oh, this is like a campfire. What is this? Is this fireworks? Might be fireworks. Ooh, police car. What is the point of this? Fire engine. Ambum lance. And then, oh, SOS. This actually is technically very practical. If for some reason you are stranded on a desert island with one of these lights, you can hold up this light if you need SOS. I don't know. All right, so let's just take it back to normal light. Here we go. And then if I click, oh, and then when you're on the normal version of just bicolor tungsten versus daylight, if you click the scroll wheel, it takes you to the green magenta scroll wheel, so you can take it all the way to the magenta side. Is that magenta? Doesn't really look magenta. It's just a tint. It's a minor little tint. Or you can take it all the way to the green side, and I can't really tell much of a difference. No, this is the green side. Plus 50 is green, and negative 50 is magenta. But we're going to leave it right there in the middle. let's figure out how these work and where to put them. Now I definitely need to get the app up and running and working. That would be much easier to do. So I put it over there, but I think you can't really probably tell what's going on with that one. I wonder if I need to put it up higher. See, I think the problem is with these overhead lights on, it's not really doing much. I changed it to fully tungsten 2700, and I don't know if we're seeing much of a difference. And it is at 100%. Let's try go to an intense purpley color just to see what we can see if it's doing anything. I might take these top lights to maybe 50% because I can do that because I have those skills because it's on a dimmer. Oh yes, you can definitely start to see the color there. And I took the house lights, what are these called? The overheads, down to 50%. So yeah, this is definitely something different. This is feeling like I'm getting some hot spots on my forehead though. So we might need to take this down. Let's see, let's try 90. That's better. That's better. Ooh, this is already starting to look fancier, isn't it? Yeah, I don't know if I need a purple. I don't know what colors I would want, but it's something. It's something for sure. It is at 100 though. That's what I don't necessarily love. Ooh, you know what though? There's another spot that I could put this. Hold on. So I did something crazy. I put it right there on the desk next to me. Wow, well that's definitely more color. So now if we change it to, if we just take it to a normal 4500, what happens if we just put it like that? It's a little bit of a fill. Is it okay? Is it great lighting? I don't know. It's something better than what I used to have. Okay, well, I don't know. Maybe a little color is fine. And maybe just for saving battery, I put it down to 50%. That's something. That's just a little color. I do like green, but maybe green makes people look kind of sickly. I should say that on both ends of this has the, I don't remember what size, this 3/8 inch, both ends, and this side also has a USB charging port, so I'm going to have to plug that in with the cable that is on the floor. Now, we got to figure out what to do with, do I put one behind me? Is it going to be strong enough to light up my background? I don't know. Hello, everybody, again. This is probably a few weeks later after I first got all those new lights and everything, and I have since recorded a few bonus episodes, which of course I hope you watched, and I have also recorded probably almost 10 episodes of the Fs, so I think I have found a good lighting situation. To finish up this video, I will quickly go through where I have landed lighting-wise, camera-wise, and you know, color correction-wise too. I'll show you a little bit of that. First of all, we have my main light up there that I showed you about how I had to go back there and clamp it and everything. I have this handy-dandy remote that just sort of lives over here, and battery is still fully charged because don't use it much. So basically what I did was I turned off all my lights and I turned on the overhead lights at about halfway. They're a little under halfway, and I wanted to get what's the good white balance? What's the color temperature of this room? These lights a little bit with these walls, and so I came up with 4,000. 4,000. It's between tungsten and daylight, if you know anything about that. It's a little bit of a weird number, but I came up with that number. It seems to be the most accurate. So I set this light to 4,000, and I went all the way down to 1%. This light is at 1%. Let's see what happens if I bring it up slowly but surely. Yeah, see, here's the thing. You start to see my forehead gets all blown out and my face gets all blown out. This is 25%. You know, so I was trying to balance out the overhead lights and these lights. Let's take it all the way up to 100 and see what that looks like. Boom. Oh my God, this looks terrible. Terrible. All right, let's take it all the way back down to 1. All the way to 1%. Seems like almost not even worth it, but it is. It definitely does something. Um, so then, so I got that, and then I was like, well, I got these side lights. I got these little LED RGB tubes. And I can control them with my phone. I was able to do that, but I have found that I just have a setting for them and I just turn them on in the back and I'm good with that. I think the app works well when you have them constantly plugged in, because when you turn them off from the app, it seems like they still stay on, so they're probably still eating battery. I haven't done a full test of that, but I will show you quickly what I have. So this one is on my right side. It's all the way over there, and it's just sort of adding some. Now, right now, it's looking really crazy and cool. I have this one set to. Now, this one's set to 4,500, so I think that would be a little bit cooler. Yeah. It is at 37 in terms of the dimming. So when I put it over there on the little X that I have taped down, it adds a little bit of something. Now, if I go to my app, this will just take a second. If I go to my app and I can turn off this one, if I can figure out which one it is, I think I even labeled them as like left side, right side. Connecting fixtures, connecting successful. Here we go. So this is the right one. Turn it off. You know, it's a little dark. It's a little bit more dramatic. And then I turn it on, and it looks like that. So yeah, it's just adding a little bit more light onto that side, because the key light over there is that one. And I can actually turn off that front light with this one here. Off, on, off, on. Looks so much better with it on. And then we have my left light over here. So this one is further away from me. It's a little bit more behind me, but these lights have such a big spread. It just actually sort of lights my left side. So this one is set to, this one's actually set to 4,000. Maybe I screwed that one up. I don't know. I think it looks fine. This one is set to 20%. 20%, so a little bit lower. And I set that one angled a little bit more behind me. So let's look at what that looks like when I turn it off and when I turn it on. You can see it's lighting up my big dictionary over there, but it's also adding a little bit of light to my head and arm. Not a whole lot, not a whole lot. What happens if we rotate it a little bit towards me? I wonder if this book is actually blocking a little bit. Nah, could be blocking a little bit. I can push that back or whatever. I'm still playing around with that stuff. So those are my lights, and I think they look so much better than when I recorded the E's. And then we have my camera. I am using a Razer Kiyo camera 1080. Wouldn't mind 4K, but you know, maybe that'll be to come. And this comes with a program called Synapse that you can control a lot of stuff. You know, you can set it to auto and all that, which some of this was set to auto. But I was like, I can dial in some better settings, I think. So you've got brightness, contrast, saturation, sharpness, white balance, blah, 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 zoom, focus, exposure, pan, tilt, all these things. So I did realize it was actually zoomed in, so I zoomed it out all the way and, you know, just have a little bit of a wider view. You can see my shirts better that way. And then I also, I didn't like the autofocus. Even if I wasn't really moving, it was autofocusing. So I turned that off, and then I actually had to turn it off in a second place because it was still autofocusing. So eventually, when you watch the Fs, you'll see that it does finally stop autofocusing. And so there's a dial here, and as I adjust the dial, see, I go out of focus, and then I get into focus, and then maybe out of focus again. Yep, there. So 179 I have found is the good distance, and I'm pretty consistent with where I sit. There we go. So that looks like it's in focus. Let's see, what else? Oh, and then the exposure. There's this just general exposure level, which I found It looks like -5, -6 seem to be they're in the right spot. -5 seemed good. And I think I based that on the overhead lights first. So none of these extra lights, just the overhead lights. And I didn't want to get the background lights too blown out. I have been thinking about taking out one of the overhead lights because it brightens up that corner a little bit and adds that weird shadow to that thing. And so I might take that light out. But and then maybe I'll adjust things. But this seemed like a good place. And then we've got other settings. So what I had was the saturation and the contrast set to auto. Let's see what that looks like. It won't even let me do that here. But basically, the contrast was up, the saturation was up. Ooh, that might have been too much. Because it was set to auto, and woo, that looks intense. I think it was maybe more down, like closer to here, somewhere like that. But if you do video, video, when you want to color correct things, it's better to have a less contrasty, less saturated image. And so you can control that in your editing. You can add color correction to it. A lot of people probably just do auto because it's easier and they don't have to do anything. But you get more control over it this way. You're sort of stuck. If it's too contrasty, you're sort of stuck with that. And so I dialed my contrast and my saturation both down to 100. And of course I will... So this is what it looks like without the color correction. And then I'm sure I turned off the color correction earlier on in this video. And now here is with the color correction that I have done. I'm not a color correction master. I know enough to get by. So, I think it looks way better than everything else I did before. And maybe someday it'll be even better. I also added, I don't know if you can tell, I added a little bit of a vignette around just to focus on this beautiful face. This episode makes no sense if you are just listening to this. And of course, I will put it up there, but why would you listen to this? You got to see it. Go to YouTube, watch it over and over and over again. And over and over and over and over and over and over again. Okay, I believe that is it for this episode about little behind-the-scenes BTS of lighting and camera and color and all those fun things. And I guess I should stop talking now. Okay, this has been Spencer, not dispensing information. Goodbye.